Happy Friday plus 2. Hello crafty friends. How's everybody doing today? As you can see,
Hi.
I have a new friend to introduce to you today. So I told you the last video that I did that I was going to start to introduce you over the next couple of weeks to the team here at Evertote. And this is Matt.
Hi.
So Matt has been with me here since the end of May.
Yeah.
I think that's when everybody started, was
so.
the end of May, yeah. And I'm pretty glad to have him here. So Matt sort of fits into, he does a little bit of everything here. So when packaging is needing to be done, he'll help out with that. He does most of the cut. In fact, I think you do all of the cutting now.
I do.
Yeah, you do all of the
Yes.
cutting.
Mm-hmm.
So all of the cutting for all of the batting and the lining and the mains and all that stuff that goes into the bags for Evertote. Matt does all of that.
I get them started.
Yeah, you get them all started. And then, but you've done some piecework as well.
Yeah.
And then going into the fall, Arzu, who is the main sewing help here, Arzu is going back to school in the fall, so we'll be cutting down to part-time, and Matt is going to be taking over a lot more of the sewing at that point. You do, you serged all of the fabric.
I do.
Yeah,
Yep.
so all of the mystery kits that are currently going out the door, Matt is the one that serged all of that linen. So when you're stitching away on your mystery sampler, that was Matt's beautiful serging job on that fabric. So, and what else? You do so much around here.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit of everything.
Try to be a second hand.
Yeah, and
second head. Yeah.
You really are. So it's been great. So I thought you might like to know a little bit about Matt, and whatever you'd like to share.
Yeah.
So I was probably thinking that many of my friends that are watching now have already noticed that you have a Tula Pink fabric on, because many of us are huge Tula Pink fans, and so it's a very recognizable print. And so one of the reasons why I chose you when we interviewed was that Matt does all of his own sewing, so he sews all of his own clothes. And in the interview, he put on a hat that he'd made. And that sealed the deal.
Not just any hat.
No, not just any hat.
No, it was a big Edwardian hat with all the feathers and all the flowers from the garden. Like
and
full
he made
roses.
It.
Yeah.
And because I'd asked what he liked to do in his free time, and he reached over and he said, "Well, I made this hat," and it was so fantastic.
Well, I didn't bring that hat, but I brought another hat that is pretty close to.
Oh, it's amazing.
Amazing.
So I thought we should share, first of all, I'm going to pop in a photo here of, how would you describe that?
Well, it is a reproduction of a 1910 walking suit that I found from a painting and a few other, like, what would you call them? Like,
just other historical resources.
Historical resources, exactly. And I drafted the pattern, the top, the jacket, the skirt, and I decided, well, it needs a hat. So I made,
look at that. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. That is phenomenal.
So, and then this is what it looks like.
Amazing. Amazing.
So
I love it.
My thing is, it's not an Edwardian hat without feathers and maybe a bird in it.
All right.
Fake bird.
Fake bird.
Fake bird. Very important. Fake birds. Fake bird. But yeah, you might tell them maybe what you said to me about things that I should or should not wear.
So at the end of the first day, Matt came and he said, he asked if there was a dress code for work, and I said, well, are you going to come to work naked? And he laughed and said no. And then I said, well, then I don't mind what you wear. So so every day Matt has come to work every day in something that he has made himself, and it's inspiring every day, really, truly phenomenal. And then you were doing some ironing. And we were having this conversation and you told me about your dad.
Yes, who is a hunter in his retirement.
So he hunts duck.
Duck, yeah, for one of his sport, and gave me some wings. And I was telling her, I said to my father, I was like, well, what I really would love is maybe, you know, the full bird or the beak or something to put in the...
To put on a hat. And I said, remember that conversation about what the dress code is? I said, you can't have a real duck.
No real fowl on the feather.
No real fowl. No. So we're all about faux here. Yes. So we'll go faux. So that was quite funny. Yeah. So when I record, because usually I'm talking to myself, things generally tend to go in a circle. So I get back there eventually. Because we haven't popped in the photo yet of your full outfit.
Right.
So now that you've shared your hat, I'm going to put the photo in of Matt's full outfit here because it is absolutely incredible. Really, truly, really stunning work. So I'll just pop that photo in right here. Incredible. I mean, absolutely just perfection, really. So you had taken a class on hat making.
On hat making. So I took it through Stratford, offers courses every year. It's called Off the Wall, and it's locally done community improvement classes that are based in the arts and the theaters.
Right. So Stratford, for those of you who are not from Ontario or Canada, Stratford is a small town in Ontario that is renowned for its theater, the Stratford Festival, and it's launched so many
thousands of careers,
actors, and it's just a phenomenal place. Really, 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 the costuming is incredible, and so this was a course.
So I took that summer I took a handful of courses, and a hat course was one of them. And the lady who taught us, her name was Monica, and her whole career has been working with Broadway, Stratford, the Canadian Ballet Company. She did hats for the original run of Lion King in the 90s when it first started. So that's kind of really special.
Amazing.
And every time I finish a hat, I always send a picture to her going, guess what I made? Oh, look at this.
It's inspiring, right? Yeah.
And it just goes to show that there's a lot of programs out there that are willing and to take in lots of people and do lots of crafty things and always be like bettering yourself no matter where it comes from.
Yeah, so more like a community outreach kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I still have lots of friends from the that program that we still share pictures of what we're doing, what we're working on, what's going on in our lives kind of thing, as a great community skill building too, because we creative people love to...
When you meet each other and you make new friends, and we as Stitchers, we know that feeling when you go to a retreat and you're sitting beside someone who has all the same interests as you, and
it's magical.
It is.
It's very magical, And so I feel very comfortable in all the stuff that I make. I feel it's very empowering and magical, and just like, why not go throughout the day with a little bit more oomph and a little more sparkle than, normal clothing.
Black.
There's nothing wrong with black.
I know. This is, I live in black, and that's fine. But Matt, you bring sparkle to my life.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm looking really forward to the future and what we can bring.
It's going to be really fun.
It's going to be lots of fun. It already is.
It is. Well, there you go. This is Matt. So thank you so much for welcoming him into our community, and I suspect you'll be seeing more of him. I'm hoping that maybe we can even start like a little, you know, once a month, maybe a little, you know, bring in something that you're sewing, and we can talk about it.
Because I'm always sewing something. Oh, yeah. Always have an idea, just pops into my head, and I'm like, oh, I got to do that now.
We'll have to show the pants that you made the other day.
Oh, definitely.
That outfit?
Yes.
That was fantastic. That was amazing. Oh, and I have mentioned this channel before, but it is a channel that both Matt and I sort of realized that we each watched and loved, is Bernadette Banner.
Yes.
So if you're into historical costuming, period dressing, Bernadette Banner is, I mean, she's phenomenal.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Her videos are magical. So if you haven't watched her yet, go and check her out. So that's it for me today. That's it for Matt today too. We need to get back to work here. And yeah, so I will see you at some point next week. And until then, I hope you're well. I hope that you're safe. And I hope that you have some crafting to take you into the weekend. And happy stitching, everybody.
Bye.
Take care.